Hey everyone, Jake Carmine 960 here. I want to come to you and talk to you about the new expansion that Blizzard just announced, the Scholomance Academy. There's a lot of hype behind this. Ladder's been feeling rather stale, but again, it's the end of an expansion, so ladder always feels a little stale. I've been trying to mix it up by doing a lot of RNG with all spell mage personally, but let's talk about Scholomance Academy. Blizzard just announced this. We're going to cover what's new, the pre-purchase bundles, what changes in Battlegrounds, all that other jazz. So let's get right to it. First thing I noticed, and it made me very excited, being a huge fan of the lore, and of course of all things Warcraft for years, Kel'Thuzad's back. Let's just get real fast. He's going to be the headmaster, and that is going to be awesome. So I'm excited to see Kel'Thuzad come back. You know, the single player is going to be absolutely nutty. We're going to have so much fun with this expansion, and it's not just because Kel'Thuzad. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. First of all, double major is one thing they're announcing. Dual class cards. There's going to be 40 of them, and the dual class ones are here. So there's going to be 40 cards printed. There's 10 different class combinations, so Priest and Warlock are together, Priest and Paladin. You have Mage and Rogue, and then Mage and Shaman. So you got cards from each end, which is going to make deck building absolutely insane and super fun. I think that this is going to be an expansion where people are going to be discovering new decks all the way through into the second month, third month of this expansion. You're going to find some crazy combos with these dual class cards, and I'm very excited myself to build some of them. Just to give you a quick preview of a dual class, like this one right here, which is really cool. Wand Thief, discover a mage spell, and it's a combo. So it feels like Rogue with a combo, but it feels like Mage because you get a mage spell, which is really cool. And 1/2 is pretty good stats for a 1-drop. So really excited for that. Next one is Spellburst. Now, Spellburst is unique. I wasn't sure what it was at first. When I initially heard it, I was like, oh, it's basically a combo with spells, or like the Rumbler for or Torrent, or the one that the 3/4 for Shaman that discovers a spell, where it's like, oh, if you played a spell last turn, or combo if you play a spell this turn, activate Spellburst. It's actually not. What it is this guy right here. You'll see little sparkles underneath the portrait. It's once you play a spell, you activate that minion's Spellburst one time. And that's what it is. So if you play the minion, then you activate the spell, it'll do whatever it's supposed to do. So one of the first ones we've seen is the deal 2 damage to all other minions. Loaded on a minion, pretty awesome. The fact that you can trigger it at a later time is nice. So if you go into a round where you know they're going to Glowfly Swarm, or fill their board, you're expecting a warrior to do some nutty, risky skipper combos and stuff, you can kind of have that armed and ready. Either play it in advance, play a spell the next turn, or hold it back. That sort of versatility is really cool. It's not a battle cry, it's a spell burst, and it feels different. I know it sounds weird. You're like, oh, it's just basically battle cry, or it's like especially for that minion in particular, it's just like the 3/2 Wild Pyromancer. It's not. It's a one-time thing, and you can really kind of change how it works, which is kind of cool. So, and then studies. Studies is the last keyword thing. They showed the Druid one, where basically you discover a spell. The next one you play costs 1 less. Now, it's important that it says discover a spell. So if you get this off of Thoughtsteal, or you get it off of a theft card in Rogue, something like that, it will still discover one for your class, which is nice. So it's not like the Wand Thief where it's combo discover a mage spell. It is discover a spell. So this is the first one they've shown. It sounds pretty cool. I like the nature studies, and I'm really interested to see what other studies, especially because it's cost-reducing discover cards. So I wonder if they're going to have a warrior one where you're discovering a specific minion. If they're tutoring it to, a taunt or a mech or whatever, they could do something like that. So I'm interested to see where they're going to go with the nature studies, or sorry, with just the studies keyword itself. It'll be kind of fun. So I just want to cover also the 5 cards they've announced right now. They technically announced 7, so I'm going to cover these 5 and then go to the other 2 on the other page. We've already talked about the tutor. Deal 2 damage to all minions. Pretty good control if you think you're going to face a lot of wide boards. 2/5 stats isn't the greatest, but that spell burst is really cool. Nature Studies we've covered. Discover that spell, reduce its cost. Shandel Wildclaw is going to be a Hunter Druid dual class legendary, which is awesome. It's a choose one, give beast in your deck +1/+1, or transform into a copy of a friendly beast. So you have that flexibility. You could take it into a beast hunter style deck where you're using the fresh scent, you're using the draw beast, give it +2/+2, you're using scrap shot, all these other things, and you would land Shandel Wildclaw. 3 mana, 3/3 is just a pretty good stat line on its own. To give your entire beast package in your deck, that Keleseth buff is really good. Very underrated. Or you take it into a big beast druid. You do strengthen numbers. You pop out a Wing Guardian Levioso, and you drop Shandel Wildclaw. 3 mana, 3/3, just turn into a 6/8 taunt reborn. Can't be targeted by spells or minion or spells or hero powers. And it's just like, wow, that was such a powerful swing turn. Wand Thief, we've spoken great detail, and Rattlegore. You better have a polymorph or something, because this Death Rattle, resummon this with -1/-1 is pretty legit. I mean, just after the first kill, it's still an 8/8. So right there, you've had 17/17 worth of stats. It dies one more time, it's a 7/7. There's 24/24 worth of stats for 9 mana. Trade with it, go face, do whatever you want. If this doesn't get polyed, hexed, silenced, this thing's going to be a force to reckon with. Now, I will say this. It'll be cool to see how it interacts. It's resummon this with -1/-1. So if you Galakron this out, and you get it with that +4/+4, and it's a 13/13, and you play it, will it be an 8/8 when it respawns, or will it be a 12/12? Yet to see. But if you can get some buffs on this, and it does that 12/12, 11/11, and then you just keep buffing it, that sounds incredibly powerful. Very good for a control warrior style deck. So that's what they've shown right now on their website. Here they've shown a couple more. Lightning Bloom, gain 2 mana crystals this turn only, overload 2. So you're looking at a Z, like old school Innervate, where you're gaining 2 mana, which obviously got nerfed, but it does overload you. Overload synergy is nice, but just gaining 2 mana crystals is really nice. You can definitely cheat out some higher value, make that overload 2 not really cost that much, just because if you can cheat out that tempo and that value, insanely valuable. This is just a Paladin one, Goody 2 shields. Divine Shield, if you spell burst, you also gain Divine Shield. So you drop them, you trade, you can pop another Divine Shield on them by playing another spell. Pretty cool. I like that effect. It's kind of like that Glass Knight, where if you heal your hero, he gains Divine Shield back up, but this one is a little more controlled with that whole spell burst. And then this one is spell burst, return the spell to your hand. So if he's on the board and you play a good board removal, you get it right back, which is nice. So you can either do that or let me Farsight into something else, and then, oh cool, I got another Farsight back later. There's a lot of possibilities for this, especially depending on what other spells they show. Going to be very cool when we're looking at that. So that's just these guys here. I did want to talk about the pre-order bundles. Where did those go? So if you click pre-purchase, let's not click pre-purchase. Where did that go? Oh, here we go. Sorry. Okay, so there's 2 bundles right now. They have changed it a little bit, so I did want to actually talk about the pre-purchase bundles, because it is a little new with the more expensive one here. So standard bundle, you get 50 packs with 5 bonus Academy card packs. The mega bundle is 75 packs, 5 bonus card packs, but they're doing this time. 5 bonus golden Scholomancer Academy card packs. So if you're looking for dust, if you're just a fan of golden packs, this is a really good value. 5 golden packs, which it shows the packs as gold. You actually get 5 golden cards out of it. A lot of dust, a lot of good for crafting, so on and so forth. Plus you get all the bonus stuff. Open these last so that you can try to get better cards for it. You do get the random golden legendary. You do get the Kel'Thuzad card back, which actually looks pretty cool. You do get Kel'Thuzad Mage Hero out of the Mega Bundle, and you do get the Battlegrounds Tavern Pass. If you're like myself, you already have that. Obviously, it's just a bonus value that they just kind of toss into it. But the Battlegrounds Pass does come with 4 arena tickets, and I believe you still get those arena tickets regardless if you already have Battlegrounds perks unlocked. So with that being said, let's talk about Battlegrounds, because they have announced, or not announced, they've actually given us a couple of new heroes. I've played 2 games as Dino Tamer Bran. Not what I thought it was going to do. That's where they don't show their hero power here, but his hero power is 1 mana, refresh the shop with Battlecry minions. So the first thing I thought of is get yourself a crowd favorite, kind of like Millhouse, get yourself a crowd favorite and just start slamming those Battlecries down on the board. What ended up happening was I ended up not rolling a crowd favorite at all. I went ahead and did kind of an amalgam build, purely because when I play that card, I get a lot of buff cards, and you get, you know, Menagerie Assistant, get +2/+2 to everything. You get the Zubat, you get, you know, the 2/5 Junk buffer, you get, you know, the 2/3 Demon buffer, and you just basically buy and just start buffing your board. And then at the end of the game, you get the Amalgam, the new unit, which is all types. He gets a ton of different adapts, so you basically just get a Murloc Megasaur combo on himself right away, which is really nice. And it's random, but it counts on its own. So I had, the game that I played, I had a Demon, I had a Pirate, and I had a Beast. So I was doing like Death Rattle with the Divine Shields, the Parrot and the Divine Shields and stuff. And then I played him, and I actually got 4 adapts. I got double health, and then I got Divine Shield and Wind Fury. And I was like, okay, he counts as himself, which is nice. So with Bran, I was like, yeah, Battle Cries, I'm just gonna, you know, it didn't work out that way. Honestly, I think he's a rather weak hero. That Battle Cry hero power is pretty cool, but in terms of value and other things that you want to do in the game, it's not always consistent. And there was times where I clicked it and I got 2 of the 2/4 homunculuses, and I'm like, cool, I can't use those in my build. I got, I was tier 6 when I clicked it, and I got 2 of the pirates that discount your shop. So I was like, oh man, there's a lot of misses you can get with that hero power, and it's 1 a turn. So it's definitely, he's fun to play as a new hero, but in terms of like tier list, I'm not putting him at the top. He's not consistent enough. I got first place, but it was a pretty weak overall lobby. Too many people went Murlocs, and then it left me and a mech guy at the end, and I just had raw stats over him just because I was able to buff some stuff. Arana Starseeker got buffed. This is old. It's actually 5 now. Or sorry, no, this is right. When you refresh 5 times now. So she no longer takes 7 refreshes, 5. A 2 refresh difference is huge, because now you can play her normal in the beginning stages instead of just like, I'm just going to slam refreshes early on, get the huge shop, but fall way too far behind and lose. The fact that like you can still do the level up on 2, buy 1, roll twice, sell a token, buy 2, level up, buy 1. You can still roll that way and still hit this in a normal pace. You usually get this around 9 to 10 gold, usually around tier 3, tier 4, and then your whole board is boom, huge. So she's pretty awesome. I do like that type of a buff. She was just a little too underpowered at 7 rolls. Hook Tusk, yay! Hook Tusk got nerfed. There was 2 ways they could have nerfed this. One, they could have changed the hero power to 1 gold instead of 0, which I think just changes kind of the feel of it. So I'm glad they went this way, where you destroy a minion, but you get a random one from a tavern tier lower. So you no longer can just click and get all your Divine Shield buffers, or get your Wrath Weavers, or, you know, just go token for just raw value. You now are randomized, which is nice. So that actually drastically just reels in that hero power, just full scale power on that thing. It's all dialed in. I think random is just right on the money. King Mukla, awesome. Bananarama, I was having a blast. I wasn't King Mukla, but as those bananas were rolling in, it completely changed my gameplay, because now I'm looking at these people just absolutely just dumpstering, throwing out these high damage costs. I know it sounds weird, but 1 banana can make the difference. You probably know in the early games you get hit for 1 damage, or you left a minion on the board for 1 damage and you just took 4. And you're like, man, that 4 health was important. Now all of a sudden you're leaving 2-3 minions up because somebody's using their bananas early and you're saving them for a minion. You know, you're like, okay, I'm going to discover into a 4 and I'm going to get a Hydra. I'm going to get the Floating Watcher. I'm going to get Gold Grubber, and you're saving the bananas for that so you can really hit that power swing. Everybody else is dropping them on their South Sea Captain or their Ho-Ho Ogres, and you know, and you're like, man, I'm getting chunked, but it's actually the game that I won with Bran. I saved my bananas for a later turn, and I ended up dropping them into a Hydra, and that was my beast. That was one of my 2 beasts for my Amalgam build. It's just fun. You just sit there and you're just like, bananas, bananas, and it sounds weird. You give everyone else 1 banana, but the value that you get to give +2/+2 for 1 is super good. It is insanely powerful. Yes, you're giving everyone else a banana, but if you do that 3 times, you've gained +6/+6. Everyone else has only gained +3/+3. So you are outpacing everyone, and it's not everyone versus you at once. So you're only facing these people 1 at a time. That's where that value comes into play. Very good hero. Definitely one to pick. I'm putting him A tier for the gameplay. And then the last one is Tess Greymane. Your hero power basically just does Murazan, but for your board to buy. You don't just get 1 randomly from your previous opponent. The 2 games I've played that had a Tess Greymane, I have yet to do it. I've wanted to. But the 2 games that I played that had a Tess Greymane, they did not do very well. It is more of a late game hero power, so you're looking at kind of like the Alexstrasza, where you're gaining those 2, you're discovering the 2 dragons when you hit 5. Your Reno Jackson, where you're making 1 minion powerful later on. It's not an early game hero power, so you really have to kind of play around it. If for some reason you face somebody and you're like, oh, they have my triple component, and you're sitting on 7 gold, now am I going to sell 1, roll, buy it, level? What am I doing? It does kind of change in the middle a little bit, but late game, if you're just like, yeah, you have what I need. Oh, you have a Gold Grubber, buy, and you can actually snipe out some of the stuff that you need. So I'm excited to try Tess. I haven't gotten the ability to. Again, these came out last night, and I got 2 games of Bran, 0 games of Tess. My Bran games, I was 4th, and then I was 1st. So, but yeah, that's the update. Let's talk about real quick the new minion, Amalgdon. This thing is awesome. It is really strong, especially if you are getting into the late game. You have that extra slot open. You make a triple. You buff it. You make a triple. You have that empty slot, and you drop this on your board. At minimum, you're going to get 2 randomized adapts. So if you don't know what adapt is, it's +3 health, +3 attack, +1/+1, divine shield, poison, wind fury, taunt, and then in the real game it's can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. They've taken that out because obviously there are no spells or hero powers during combat in the game. So a 6/6 that can just randomly roll divine shield and poison is very good. It can pick up a taunt for you. It is random, so that's where it kind of is weak, but it's strong because it's all. So if you're running the 6-star, if you're running the Goldrin Death Rattle build, this is going to get it. This is going to get every single one of those beast buffs. If you're running a demon comp where you got, a Mal'Ganis, that's going to get the Mal'Ganis +2/+2 or +4/+4. It's going to get everything that is applied to everyone else. If you're running pirates in this attack, Lisa is going to buff everything, as well as if you have the 2/2 pirate the 3/4 pirate that buffs 2/2. It's going to get it, which is really nice. You can magnetize on it. You can do whatever you want with it. This thing is just a 6/6 version of Nightmare Amalgam. And then Goldrin got changed as well. Goldrin is now 6-star because that card in that beast combo was really good. If I never saw, if I logged into the game and I looked at the lobby and I saw no Murlocs, I was shooting for beasts because the beast package against Murlocs is a little rough. No Murlocs, it's beast time. So that's my initial rundown. I will be doing more card reveals as time goes on. This one's going to be a lot longer of a video. The next ones are just going to be, here's some of the minions or cards that they've revealed, and then I'm just going to say, here you go. So That's it. If you guys like the video, you like the breakdown that I did, I know it's rather lengthy, but if you liked it, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and of course turn on those notifications so that you get to see all the rest of these